Okay, the latest, another area of controversy since we've last talked was the, and for overseas viewers, Indigenous members of the New South Wales Rugby League team decided not to sing the national anthem.
Is that because they were protesting, or is it because, like a lot of people, they just don't know the fucking words? A lot of people just go, Australia. It's like, no one really knows in the second verse, no one really knows that either. You know, I saw that, like, it's hard, you know, I'm over. Look, if we look at every country around the world, shit has happened. Other people have come in and moved into other countries. This whole invasion day, it wasn't an invasion. If you want to talk about invasions, go ask people that were in World War I, World War II and that. That was an invasion. Captain Cook come here peacefully. He met the Aborigines. He showed them different stuff and that. They didn't come invading. Sure, later on, when more white man and them came in, stuff happened and this and that, but it wasn't an invasion. They just didn't land and start shooting fucking cannons from the boat and shooting them dead straight away. They came in peacefully and stuff. So the whole invasion thing, it's just like, I don't get it. It's like, yes, you know, you can complain that white man did this, white man did that. Look, learn about your history, that's great, but don't live, you know, learn about the past, I say, but don't live in it. Yes, it's terrible that, you know, things happen to races, and yes, Aborigines, some were slaves, just like the black people in America were slaves, and some of the black people in America go, well, we didn't want to come here, my ancestors were brought here as slaves. Yes, that is terrible that your ancestors were brought there as slaves, but guess what, if they weren't, you wouldn't have been fucking born, and you wouldn't have the opportunities you have this day in America. If your ancestors were kept in Africa, or wherever they come from, they probably would have died of maybe a disease, or killed in a tribal war, or God knows what, but you wouldn't have been born. So stop bitching about it. Like I said, learn about your past, but don't live in the past. We're all going to fucking learn to live together and get along, but if you keep going back to, no, I want retribution and I want payment for what happened back then, we're never going to get anywhere, and they're just going to keep causing a bigger divide and a bigger divide and shit like that. It's just never ending. Everyone, every race, even the whites, yes, although he said whites, he's racist, even white people had shit done to them, so it's just, stop complaining about it. And half these Aborigines that I see on TV complaining, they're whiter than me. It's like they don't even, you got this guy on TV who looks like me, even whiter than me, going, yes, I've had it hard being Aboriginal. What? You're not even fucking dark. So how can you can't play the race card there, mate, but fucking hell. Let's deal that one up. Yeah, so it's just ridiculous. I'm just over the whole invasion day and this whole separation, and the land belongs to no one, people. The land was here before the Aborigines, before fucking with the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs owned the land if we want to go back. No one owns the land under our feet. We just come here for a short amount of time, and once we're dead, somebody else will live here and the fucking time goes on. So it's no one's fucking land, okay? So, but we were the first people here. Yeah, then we were the second people and the third people. If you're born here, you're Australian, no matter what your fucking skin colour or what your heritage is. The Aborigines, they didn't even come from here. They came from other islands up north and moved their way down here, or fucking walked when the land was all joined together from fucking somewhere else. So stop fucking bitching and complaining. No one owns shit. Just learn to fucking get along.
Well, an interesting thing is my daughters at school, they're currently doing you know, like your ancestors, or you know, like your family tree.
Ancestry.com.
And that's prompted, one of the mothers is at the end of term, they're having a get together on the last day, and the thing is that you bring food from your, you know, what your grandparents, you know, your native dishes.
Who brought the witchetty grubs?
No, well the funny thing is, in their class, I think.
Did you bring a Vegemite sandwich?
Like our daughters were.
A Lamington?
Well, definitely in the group of the get together, our daughters are the only ones whose grandparents all came, or all Australian. All the other kids have got, you know, grandparents or parents. No, that are from overseas. So I think what happened in the past is terrible. There's no doubt about that, I don't look at it as white and black and all that sort of thing. It's basically...
But as I said, it just happens all over the world. When people come to another land, if they're like the dominant ones, they normally come in and conquer whoever's there. It happens in all countries. It's been happening for years. When the English used to go around and go into countries, and then even when it came to wars, look at the Germans when they started pushing into countries and killing the Jews and the Polish and everybody else. So sadly, it just happens. And normally the normally the people who aren't as strong get walked over and fucking taken advantage of and shit like that. But it's happened for years and years, and all that stuff in the past with slavery in America, and there's been slavery in every other country too, even in Ireland and England and everywhere. But it's just bad. But like I said, learn about your past, but we don't want to live in it and keep bringing up, well, this was done to us back then and you should pay for it now, and because of this we want this, and now we have welcomed the country. Why are you going to have welcomed the country? I was born here. You don't need to welcome me to my own place where I was born. So, these are the lands of such and such. It's not the lands of your people. Before your people, I'm sure there was people here before them. So it's just going to go on and on and on and on. So it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, look, what happened was man went from hunter and gatherer to being farmers, and wherever there was a farmer, the farmer would take over the hunter and gatherer's land because the farmer had to get more resources. They had better weapons, and that whole thing went on through Europe, Asia, Africa, everywhere. And just like there's no Neanderthals walking the earth, there would have been a time where there was pockets of them still around, but eventually Homo sapiens conquered them.
Homosexuals?
Yeah, well, Matt's
trying to dominate and conquer the world.
Yeah,
one homo at a time.
So that's basically how I look at it. Like you can't
keep going back, because we keep going back to it. We're never going to get anywhere. And like I said, it seems to be getting worse, even in America and here. You think by now we'd learn to get along, but this divide, whether the government likes to cause it or these certain little groups of people like to cause it, it just makes it worse and worse. I remember on the radio where last year in some hospitals the Aborigines are going to get their own waiting room because they said they don't like waiting in rooms. They have to wait for hours and stuff, so they're going to give them their own waiting room with Aboriginal art on the wall that they can look at to, help appease them. It's like, fuck, I go to the hospital, I have to wait for hours. I don't like waiting there either, but you have to fucking wait. But you don't put it down just because I'm Aboriginal. They get to you when, you've been to hospital emergency. You go by normally how bad your injury is. So if you can't wait, you can't wait. I've seen white people get up and leave because they're like, fuck this, I'm sick of waiting. The idea, no matter if you're black or white, just go in and say you got a chest pain. You fucking get straight in. That's what you do. Doesn't matter what colour you are. But if it's not a life-threatening injury, generally you do wait because there's other people ahead of you. So when they give certain races or different groups of people things over other people, that's what pisses them off. That's with the whole burqa debate. If you want to wear a burqa down the street or anywhere else, I don't care if that's all you can see is your eyes. It doesn't bother me. But now if you're wearing that and you're going into a bank, a petrol station, somewhere where an Australian can't wear a motorbike helmet or a hoodie and stuff, then you should take it off. Because if you're saying they can wear that but these people can't wear an open face helmet and stuff, that's what pisses people off. It's like, well, if I can't wear this, why can they wear that? You can't have rules for one and rules for the other, because that's what causes the divide. It's got to be one rule for all. And if this is Australia, you come here, you abide by our laws and our rules, just like if we go to their country, we can't go around doing shit and say, well, in Australia we can do this. Some countries, is it like Singapore in that you can't swear, you can get fucking caned, you can't spit on the street, you get jailed and stuff like that. So half the shit you do in Australia, if we say, well, this is our culture, we go do it in their country, we'd be fucking locked up and God knows what, for years and years in their prisons. So if you go to a country, you just got to abide by their laws and their rules. Simple as that. How hard is that to fucking do?
Well, I mean, look, an Aboriginal person would say then, when the British people came, why didn't we abide by their rules? And my answer to that is...
Well, when the British people come, the Aboriginals didn't have any rules.
Well...
They didn't even have a wheel, like I said.
No, well, look, Australia wasn't a nation. It was...
It was nothing. It was a piece of land.
No, but it was many Aboriginal nations.
But there was tribes. There's this Aboriginal guy, I wish I could figure it out. It was on the radio last year. He's got a book out where he talks about his whole history goes back into the Aboriginals, where even back hundreds of years or more, even could have been longer, where like even they were cutting down on how many kids they could have, and if too many female babies were born, they were cannibals and they used to kill them and sometimes eat them. And he got into a whole heap of shit because he delved into the truth about what the Aborigine tribes used to do to each other. They're like, oh, you can't say this, this makes us look like, we were just happy-go-lucky people sitting around a fire, going on walkabouts, having a good old time. Do you fucking white cunts come over here? They were fighting amongst themselves and killing each other and cannibalism and stuff like that long before the white man got here. So it's just, to blame it on, you people did this. I don't know any of my ancestors that did anything to the Aborigines. So, when they say you people did it, you can't just... that's like us saying that because one Aborigine does something, you're all fucking drunks, and maybe they are, but you can't just go around saying that just because one drinks and stuff. So, just this whole you owe us this, you owe us that. No one owes you anything. Simple as that.
Well, another thing you look at too is if whatever the history is, you look what the end result is with Australia. It is one of the, if not the best countries in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants to come here.
And I welcome everyone that comes, no matter where you're from. But it's like if you are coming here, it's like I said, you've got to abide by our laws and our rules. Come here, assimilate. Don't get, like I said, now it's like in the old days, people say, well, we were built on immigrants. We were, but when the immigrants come in from Ireland, England, anywhere, the Greeks, and they all come here, they all mixed, they all got along, they all come here and worked hard. Now, sadly, a few people have worked out, hey, we can go to Australia. They've got great benefits and handouts down there. We don't have to do anything. We get into our own little enclaves type thing and do our own thing, and we can claim this and claim that and play the old race card if anything tries to get done to us. And the divide's getting bigger and bigger, sadly. And like even with the Aboriginals, they say we're all for equality. Sadly, now it's going too far this way, where the white people or any other, not even just white, but other people are thinking, hey, look what they're getting now. So people get pissed off. If you want equality, everyone should get the same thing. There shouldn't be any special, Aboriginal classes here or there, or Aboriginal this and that. There should be history class, and in the history class you get taught about whatever. Australia, England, you get taught about the Aborigines, you get taught about everything. So it covers all. You don't have special things for different people and special different other things for this, or on a piece of form, when you fill out a thing where it goes, are you Caucasian, are you this, where it says it should just be, are you Australian citizen, are you Australian? Yes, that's it. It shouldn't be, are you Aboriginal or Torres Straits and that, because then you get different benefits to what the white Caucasian gets. It should be one for all, simple as that. Are you Australian? Yes, that's it. No, are you Aboriginal, Torres Island, this, that, blah, blah, blah. So it's just bullshit.
I think that's one good thing about being Australian. Like we're, And
have you noticed that when you are Australian, you normally say you're Australian?
Oh, but
you don't get to like in America where I'm Asian American, I'm Mexican American, I'm Latino American, I'm African American. If you're born in America, you're a fucking American. As simple as that. It's like, yes, these Chinese people that come over here and they have a child, they're born here, that kid is Australian. They're not Asian American or Chinese, Asian Australian or Chinese thing. They'd be like me, because my parents and that come from Ireland and England. I don't say I'm Irish Australian or English Australian. I say I'm Australian. Simple as that. We don't have to put all these fucking labels beforehand